Excuse the precipitation. It's YouTube time. I wanted to cover. Oh, see? I turn on the camera. He has. Well, yeah, they flunked the CAT scan. We'll get to those in a minute. If people give me a chance, this is how I make my cuts to contour a frame. But what's important for you to know, doing this for yourself, okay, don't be afraid to experiment. The problem is the metal is very expensive. But you see these patches? They're not patches. They bind that together. I'm trying to make a video here, pal. Why don't you go find a mouse? Go get me a mouse for dinner. A fat, juicy one. Now, the reason this metal is on top is to make for a little more rigidity than butting the metal together. Okay? It's fine. There's plenty of weld. It's a good welder. Now, geez, I didn't put my shoe on my camera. I'm just a pile of monkey tits today because I'm upset. Okay? We're going to get to these fuel straps. They're hard as hell to find for this truck with the 36-gallon tank. Now, first company, they're in stock. I ordered the fuel tank straps. Okay? That's why I'm losing my hair and I look like shit half the time. Those straps never got here. 2 days after this truck was here and I discovered that tank had to come out of here, maybe 3 or 4 days after I do kind of like an autopsy of what is killing the truck and how to save it. So then I get my little list together and then I call the customer and say, like, you got a few more problems, you know, we got to work through this. So $54, I ordered the straps. They never come. Call the company. They don't want to answer my phone. I left 3-4 messages. Hey, I never got my straps. So then I go to he's a recycler. I was going to use the wrong word. This guy goes out of his way to get you the parts. And I've dealt with him before. I'm going to keep his name out of it so it doesn't, I don't want him tainted because he did nothing wrong. I got to the bottom of it and it was FedEx. And their vehicle evidently was in a tragic accident on one of the major interstates near California, which is not surprising to me. So those straps never made it to me, and they were only $40 in shipping. And he called, apologized, refunded me. Okay, and then there's also Buc-ee's, which he sent. It's like the second time I bought from him, and most of this stuff is golden. If it gets, you know, and they're not responsible for the shipping. Fleabay right now is using snail mail. Not the way to go. I'm waiting weeks. I wanted to finish this Polaris this weekend. There's no tracking, no nothing. Then you got to bother the seller. Hey, where is it? All they know is it's on its way. Sometimes they're busy too. You know, they don't want to. eBay is regressing, okay? Just like this. Now I'm going to exhibit this. Look at it, piss poor. Bare metal, it's already rusting. They couldn't even make a galvanized strap. I mean, what a cheap piece of garbage you're selling for $50. Garbage. And these straps for the 36-gallon tank on an 07 are hard as hell to find. And as far as I know, the 36-gallon tank is the same all the way from like 2000 or 99, I should say, all the way up to 2010. The 36-gallon tank is all the same. Now, my uncle said that could stretch to 2013 because I called him and he said, all I have right now is not much of anything. And he's not buying a whole lot of trucks due to this economy. So his recycling business is down. He makes some money selling beds and stuff. They pull beds and tailgates off of trucks that are getting converted into utility, you know, like utility vehicles with a utility body. So, you know, he'll make $1,000 here, $1,000. You know, he can cover expenses. But The harder to find parts are getting harder to find, and when you get them, you get garbage like this. And this is from, they can fall there. I'm ready to throw them away and make my own. A premium. What I might do is cut those apart and just use this aluminum steel that I use, because that is unacceptable. I mean, that is a total, utter piece of crap. Meets or exceeds OEM garbage. So this is what this is coming to, and you've got to explain this to your customers, because I bought from that company. I bought fuel pumps from A Premium. I bought everything from fuel pumps to spark plugs, and most of the stuff is decent, brand name, except when you get to these obsolete or almost obsolete parts. You got some Chinamen pirating, making garbage, and then you've got to use it. So I might put a coating on those. I have that stuff from Wool Wax. It works real well, dries real hard. But to have parts that are already rusted in the box. Now, and that leads me, remember AI? You gotta use my cigarette, okay? You're not gonna have fair elections anymore. I've covered that. You're not going to be able to use your bank accounts. They're going to be in everything, your credit cards. You go at it. I've been hearing this more and more because it just happened to me. You know, every now and then I go quite a distance from here. So I had to go near Philadelphia, which I have an allergy to Philadelphia like I do to Fords and some of the new Chryslers. I have a real allergy to that area. And these knuckleheads that are driving these 18-wheelers, I almost got killed twice going down 309. I didn't use the turnpike. I don't like cars going by me at 200 miles an hour like they're on the fucking Autobahn, and especially those ones with the BMWs and the Audis. They think they're king of the road until they hit something and they end up that they're part of the road. Okay, I'm doing 80 miles an hour and I'm getting passed at 80 miles an hour, and I mean passed. To me, 80 miles an hour is where my red flag is. I have cars that can reach 150 mile an hour. My Roadrunner is one of them. Okay, even with that atrocious gearing in that thing, you stomp that pedal, but you're not going to go. You're going to go real fast, but not too far with the the mileage. I mean, that's 2 4-barrels and a 440, and I think those are 413s in the back of that. It was a custom axle. It's really a weird car. It's kind of like my Super Sport. There isn't really a factory part outside of some of the body panels that fit in it. And it doesn't have a heating system. It was built as a drag racer by Petty Enterprises, or I think it was built for Petty Enterprises. But I'm just saying, I mean, my Super Sport, that thing can hit 120, 130 with ease. But there's no sense in doing that on the road. So getting to my AI punchline, I get to a filling station. Now, I took cash, the customer's cash, with me to go get the parts. My card doesn't work. Okay, maybe it's their machine. I still have some fuel. I go maybe about 2-3 blocks down. I'm talking blocks, not miles. I pull up to the next pump, stick my card in the pump. It doesn't work. Jeez, I'm calling the Lord all the time, more and more these days. I walk in the station. I hand him $50 in cash. I know that's plenty to get me home with Tara. She's back in service, and she did very well on the long ride, despite my AC. I need a belt, flea bay. I ordered that belt about a week after, and I'm probably going to end up having to go over to AutoZone or Advanced and buy one at whatever extorted price. I got a call after I left that station, and I'm right near the salvage yard. I'm pulling down the road to the salvage yard. My phone's ringing. I had a fraud alert text. I saw that, and I figured it was related to the card. So I answered the phone, and it was my bank, and the lady says to me, "Hi, this is Jane, and I'm with your bank, and somebody was trying to use your credit." I said, "Yeah, I'm in fucking Philadelphia, and I need gas." I said, "I put plenty of money in my account before I left. It was the first of the month. I had my pension check. So there was plenty of money to, and I wanted to stop, and I couldn't even get anything to eat." Because I asked her, you know, I said, how long? Oh, it's going to take them 24 hours to lift the hold on my card. Thank God I brought money with me. AI, you want to get rid of cash and you want to suffer that you have money in an institution one day and not the next. This is where it's going. And it's highly upsetting, and that was highly disturbing to me. And I went down my bank's throat. And it looks like Freddie's coming again. If any of you don't know who Freddie Boom Boom Washington is, that's what I call the thunderstorms. Look up Freddie Boom Boom Washington. So that is part of my story, is this AI shit is getting way out of hand. If you want to accept them getting rid of cash, okay? The other thing is the perversions. I got this queer looking quarter. It's got a freaking bat. I mean, why can't we just have a standard coin? Why do we got to put fruity images on? I mean, it really shows the decline of America and its mentality. An American coin with all kinds of fruity images and crap on it that nobody really gives a rat's ass about. Our kids don't even know what half those pictures are. Mount Cobb and the other one, some of them places where the people that are on the coin, they don't know who the hell they are. You know, my daughter's 40, I think my daughter's 44, my oldest one, and she got a dollar coin. She said, who is Susan B. Anthony? Oh my God, one of the mothers of our country, and she does. And I said, you have all kinds of internet access. I didn't know if she was joking or if she was testing her dad. But no, she actually didn't know who it was. And I guess she was just too lazy or too busy to, to go to the internet. But she asked me, who was Susan B. Anthony? Dear God, my own kid. But then again, I got home from Iraq and my own kid couldn't do basic math and equations, couldn't read a tape measure at 18 years old or 16, whatever he was. And he still really doesn't. He's still really not literate with a tape measure and fractional equations. Look, you're not going to give me trigonometry and Reaganometry and all that other bullshit they shoved down our throats in the 70s. But you're not going to get through life without basic math. And that's Uncle Dutch's opinion. Because here, mathematics matter. A measurement being off matters. I like to thank people. I like the response that I'm getting from some of my more loyal followers, that they, a lot of them say they 100% agree with me. And then I have to talk about Jimmy from the other salvage yard that I talked to. His last name is Spiegler. He shot me a text, hey Dutch, I found your stuff. Pick it up whenever you want. It'll be down here behind the counter. And I really appreciated the guy going out of his way. And then he started, yeah, I watch you on YouTube. He says, you're pretty crafty. And then I said to him, I says, thank you for the compliment. Yeah, he says, do some more videos this summer. I can't really do too much when I'm constantly at a stop and a start, or now I gotta pay attention and coat brand new parts that don't even come with a coating on them. And I can't feel safe even installing that on my customer's truck. As I said, I'm 3/4 thinking about ripping that strap apart and just making my own out of the aluminum steel for my own peace of mind. But that means this endeavor is going to cost this man more money, because I'm going to go over and have Schmitty actually make those out of the heavier gauge, this heavier gauge stuff. But this is getting ridiculous with parts. And for the prices, like what I paid for those, it's kind of a slap in the face, but it's showing the decline of the American industries. Because the industries have got stomped out, and now China can sell us whatever they damn well please. And that's where they're going with this AI. And that's why I thank people for watching my videos. Folks, you don't always have to agree with me, okay? YouTube particularly, but I want to tell you something, for sharing information from the bottom of my heart. An informational platform where we can exchange, fine, but don't be censoring people, okay? If you don't like my opinion, or you have another way of doing something, that's what YouTube is about, but don't be flagging people because you didn't like what they had to say. Now, I'm going to have to end my video because I got a funny feeling we are going to get rained on, and I mean big time. This has not been fun. Freddie Boom Boom Washington's been around all week, fouling up every day. Every time I want to get going on this truck, I'm either getting customers. I've had a lot of customers in and out, or well, potential estimates and stuff. But people got to save their pesos is really what it adds up to. Nothing's cheap right now, especially product and stuff. And you know, it makes my electric. It's a mess right now. Trump better get his head and his ass wired right. He's done nothing for the American people besides put us in strife and squeezing us every day, as they've been saying on the internet. We're getting squeezed. Thanks for watching my videos, and tell Trump he's a shithead. Thank you.